girl, Chelsea.
And this is D. And this is our special guest.
Say hey, hey. Can you wave?
And this is Postpartum Uncut, the movie night edition.
Yes, ma'am.
So, y'all know this is our safe space to talk about everything that happens after we have the baby. All the nitty gritty, all the not so cute, all the fun stuff that can happen. And the stuff that we don't necessarily think or talk about.
Yeah.
That stuff. The stuff we don't necessarily think or talk about. So today, y'all, we just watched Straw. Holy, oh my God. We just watched Straw. Tyler Perry, forever delivers with the dramatics. Forever delivers with that. Taraji forever delivers the role. She did that. She always do that though. Like,
she can play any role, literally.
Any role. But I do appreciate those strong black actresses that we have that really tell the story right. Like, we all seen our mama, we all seen our aunties, we all seen our grannies. Like, we seen that. Or we know somebody. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to Taraji. Shout out to Taraji for being the dopest. The dopest. One of the dopest female black actresses in the world. Like, female actress, period. But let's put the black on it to make the point, okay? So let's just start with, like, first impressions of the movie, right? Like, let's go, like, that first 26 minutes in, that first little half hour before we got our little intermission in. First impression of the movie, like, right off the bat when we turn it on, start watching, what you think?
My first impression was like, wow, this is really displaying like the struggle of like a black single mom. I'm not saying that other races don't go through the same struggles, but it's like being a part of the black community. This is what we see a lot. And it's like, wow, this movie really did a good job to kind of illustrate how a pileup of emotions and struggles can happen and how it's just easy for someone to hit their breaking point.
Definitely. The build-up was real.
Yeah.
The build-up was for sure. You felt it too, girl? We didn't like it either. We didn't like it. You slap happy.
She ready to go to sleep, y'all.
It's like, I definitely, like, the relatability hit immediately.
Yeah.
Right? Which, honestly, y'all, this is why it's hard for me to watch a lot of shows, because it's so much relatability that I just be like, okay, but that happened to me last Wednesday, and I really don't feel like reliving it, so I don't feel like it. Like, me and TV are like that, but I do appreciate movies that tell a story correctly, and I think that I'm almost like, it'd be crazy for us to not talk about this movie doing what we do with Postpartum, right? Because the ending is what got me. So, just so y'all know, and I probably said it already, but, like, this is a spoiler-friendly situation. If you ain't watched the movie yet, please don't listen to this podcast. Like,
no, seriously.
Wait until you watch the movie, and then hit us up, okay? Okay. As far as the single mom stuff goes, I really think that you should say your opinion on this, because you represent a lot of that side of when we talk about that stuff in these discussions. So, what was accurate for you? What do you feel like was most, like, the big stuff that stuck out to you? What hit the hardest that you're like, yeah, that is what we go through, and it's not talked about, or it is not appreciated enough, or it is not, what hit?
I just think maybe everything falling onto the shoulders of one person. Like, when the other person isn't there physically to kind of help do certain things, I guess, like, bear certain burdens, it kind of is a pileup, because it's like there's no one else to respond to the emergencies, and there's no one else to put out fires other than one parent, so it is kind of hard. It's easy to get pressed stressed when you're like the primary parent doing most of the stuff. So I definitely can see why she would get frustrated. And then it's like, don't mess with my kid. So it's like anytime someone messes with your kid, it's a problem.
It's kind of ironic too, because like the stuff that she was dealing with was very much so like people judging her as a mom. But it's like, you are literally preventing me from being a mom. Like you kept me from doing that.
She was doing the best job she could.
Yeah, they did. They had her messed up. Oh. The worst case scenario for every single thing was just, it was like everywhere she went.
Like each scenario just has to be at the most dramatic peak that it could be at, literally.
Like for all the days for my boss to get on my nerves, it's on this day after all this happened, and then he talking to me crazy. This is the what we don't talk about stuff. It's the fact that a lot of it goes overlooked. A lot of the things that you do will be unseen or feel unseen. It's the fact of, it's going to be a day where it all happened back to back to back. And you still got to show up for that baby, because who going to take care of that baby if I don't?
Exactly. But she was so patient, though.
She was, and she smiled.
Or it was like very smiling, like, very meek about a lot of stuff.
Which character pissed you off the most? It was the manager for me.
Yeah.
The manager did it for me.
I think the manager.
You see that part?
I think the manager. It was the police officer or the manager. But I think the reason why the manager irritated me the most is because it's like, you've worked with this lady for years. I know you have to know something about her situation, and you're black too. Like, do you not understand the struggle of your own people,
girl? And
I'm not saying like anything about all cops being the same, but it's like cops have a stereotype nowadays,
and they know we're aware of it too. Yeah, so that's my thing.
So it's kind of like when you see movies like that, some people go into it like, okay, well, stereotypically that's how they would portray a cop in the movie in this type of situation, because that's kind of what we've seen a lot in society recently. But it's like the manager, I didn't expect the manager to completely just go all out like that, because it's like, do you not have compassion for your employees? Every person she felt betrayed by was also black. And that I noticed that. That's what I'm saying. I noticed that. It was like, it's like who you expect her to be betrayed by, like on paper. Right. The cop didn't surprise us. That's what I'm saying. That's one thing, but right. You do your pacifier, of course.
Okay. Now that all the babies are asleep, because movie night definitely turned sleepy fast. So what we were talking about was the things that stuck out, the stuff that was like that hit.
Just basically how everything can pile up when you're doing it all alone. I don't think anybody wants to do it all alone or has a baby intending to do it all alone. I mean, there are a few situations like some arrangements, or maybe you adopt a child or something. But I feel like if you started off in a partnership or a union with somebody, I don't think you picture yourself at any other point doing it by yourself.
Definitely.
So, and then when you don't have any help, knowing you created this baby with someone else, it can kind of be like, why am I doing everything by myself? So I know a lot of people in that situation that have definitely voiced that opinion. I'm like, yeah, I can see how that would be kind of hard, especially when you're struggling. It's one thing to do it all by yourself and you're actually managing to get everything done, but when you're doing it all by yourself and then you're struggling, barely making ends meet, or you're not making ends meet, that has to really take a toll on you.
Y'all remember that clip of that girl saying barely? Like, when I say that word, it's low-key triggering, because the whole time you were talking, you were like, it's like when you're trying so hard to make ends meet, and in my head I was like, yes, and then you barely make it. I was literally like, I've been there. You be trying so hard, you work your ass off to do everything right, and then doing it the right way too, and doing it the right way, not what we could do, not the easy way, okay? We still try to have some dignity about some stuff and make money legally and all that. Okay, so then you do all that and then you miss the deadlines or you're not so cute. What did I say off camera, Chels? On paper, right? She was not good on paper at all. But we watched her. We got to see her as the neighbors. We got to see her as the grocery store coworker. We got to see her in every single aspect of her life. And we're looking at like, dang, she doing all that. And she ain't snapped on nobody yet. Like, and then on top of that, what killed me, she smiled a few times. Like, you still smiling, girl.
Yeah.
What?
That's a rough one right there.
So for me, it was just like that feeling, like you said, of that back to back, but then like barely missing deadlines or barely getting this. Like if you've been on a struggle bus before, honey.
And in her situation, she wasn't but she wasn't barely making anything. She was missing it all. Like that was the thing. She was missing all the deadlines, missing all the time she was supposed to be somewhere. So she was doing all that and not even barely making it.
Right.
That has to be hard.
And everybody being so judgy.
Yeah.
And I know that's like a big theme in the movie too, because I talked about perception and how that played a big part in the movie too. Like, oh, it looks like a bomb, it must be a bomb. Right? So like everything turned left very quick when your perception is warped or led by certain feelings or certain emotions. Girl.
Just like how they said the baby had bruises on her back. Oh, it must have been created by the mom being negligent. No, she had a seizure and fell in the tub. Like, so.
Yeah, all that on paper shit does not account for like those off-grid scenarios. And there's those can happen at the snap of a finger. We talk about that all the time.
And it can happen multiple times to the same person.
Like it happened to her 17 times in one damn day. Like that is wild.
Yeah.
The other thing that stuck out to me was like, I told her this, but I don't think I've actually like publicly talked about this. I definitely had this conversation with my nurse friend at my son's doctor. But like those irrational fears, like when you come out of the delivery room, your entire like being is tied to this human, right? And your entire life is centered around this human and you have to be responsible for this human. But then like they can take your human away. Like for what? Because this person's perception was warped. That type of shit is scary to me. Like, and I did have like this fear for a while of like, if I look incompetent, they're gonna take my baby.
Right.
They're gonna take my baby.
Right.
And then don't let him be black. You know what I mean? Like, so that part, like, oh man, I can't even. That kind of stuff be really getting to me, because I'm like, that stuff happens to people. Those people get accidentally accused of certain things and whatever, but the point is the perception of it all. And ain't that what they talk about in them legal shows? Like,
it really is all about the perception though, because nobody was there to witness this,
right,
except for the person who it's about. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why the perception ends up ruling everything, even though that's not right.
Top characters in the movie is number one, her homegirl from the grocery store who stuck up for her because everybody was literally a hater up until that point. She was one of my favorites.
I think so. I agree.
Besides Tiana, because hello.
I mean, even the bank lady, she started off on the wrong side of the fence. But she tightened up. And then by the end, you know, her walking out with her doing all this stuff, I think I think that makes up low key like some sort of redemption for her very quick judgy mentality. But doesn't that kind of like show you how judgy people are in real life, and then how that low key affects everybody else? But I also think too, she also like turned around because she felt bad for dismissing her earlier in the
Yeah,
day. Like she probably
yeah.
realized, like, had I not dismissed her and just helped this lady get her $40, like none of this would have happened.
You kind of recognize your part in making someone's day go one way or the other.
Yeah.
Especially when you work a service related job.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel very passionately about that as well. Mm-hmm. Fast food. Think about that. If Taraji needed to feed her baby and you got an attitude because you don't like your job, like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It'd be that one person at the drive-thru window with an attitude that sends you off your damn rocker. Like, it's 5 o'clock, girl.
Yeah.
And my boss done pissed me off today. The bill collectors call you while you at work. Mm-hmm. And all you trying to do is feed the baby.
I'm just trying to clock some hours,
bruh,
so I can get a paycheck.
Didn't she say that? She said that when she walked in. She was like, I just need to clock in. Can I clock in? Mm-hmm. If you've worked any job similar to that, service, mm-hmm. retail, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Y'all know. You know. Mm-hmm. Oh, child. It was like too relatable. Yeah. It was way too relatable because, like, we all have been in certain situations where we like, dang, we've been there. Mm-hmm. Oh, I've been there too. Oh, lady. And so I think that's why we were so mad. Like, why you ain't smack her? Why you ain't smack her too?
Yeah.
Nah, smack him. Because it was definitely the manager. And then, you know, she did what she did. So I was like,
well,
you know what was funny? It was 2 people that really needed to get some stuff. And they got it. The manager and the cop. Because when Tiana hit the cop, yeah, that was my favorite moment of the movie.
Yeah, she was like, yeah.
Popped up so fast. It was irritating and disappointing to see black women and black men turning on her like that. But then it was also really cool to see the other instances where people stood in solidarity. Tiana said, F my job. I'm going to go talk to her because y'all make stuff out of nothing when it ain't gotta be.
Yeah. But that's only because also too, but not only because, but partially because of experience. Sometimes if you haven't walked in those shoes or lived that life, she may not have responded that way had that not been her background.
Like, you have no idea that that's even a possible reality for somebody because it's not even a thing for people like you or people around you. That's a fair point. That's true. So maybe that's a point that we can give grace to other people for not knowing better. And then don't they say, forgive them, Father, they know not what they do.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 out of 5.
Yeah, I
think it was really good.
I definitely watch it again. Probably certain times of the month though.
Yeah, I wouldn't go out my way to watch it unless I'm in a certain mood.
Yes, you know, it's some of them movies that just way too powerful. But but you know how you can always like, you know what, I need to watch Diary of a Mad Black Woman one good time. Or what's that movie for you? Because that's that movie for me. I'll watch that one good time if I need to just, oh yes, smack him. Yeah, Charles.
I don't know if I necessarily look to watch that movie, but anytime it's on TV, it's a high possibility that it's gonna be in the background.
What's one of those movies for you? Like, I just, oh, you know what? Let me watch that real quick. That's my vibe. That's my little jam.
I don't know, because none of the movies that I would just watch like that are related to like something like a powerful message such as this. I don't know.
No, I definitely feel you on there because
I can't think of a movie right now that's like on the same level as Straw. It's Daddy's Little Girls. With Gabrielle Union and Idris Elba. Because have you seen that?
You know what? I'm like thinking about it, and I don't think I've actually watched that.
Well,
is that next movie night?
Snippet. It's just like he's a black father of 3 little girls, and he's fighting for custody with the mother who's not on a legit path. And he's literally working 3 jobs, like trying to do this, trying to do that.
He doesn't already have custody.
No. If neither one of them have custody.
Oh, okay. Like, it's a thing.
It's a thing. Like, yeah. It wasn't like in the courts before.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
But his mom would do everything for them, and she died. And she was like, I want you to take the girls over. Well, I'm sorry, no, it was her mom that died and was watching the babies. And she told Idris Elba, like, I want you to take care of the girls because she knew her daughter wasn't doing right. And so he took the girl. She got wind of it. They fighting, bickering the whole movie. So, but anyways, he lost the girls to Child Protective Services for an accident. And the whole movie, he's trying to get them back. But he's like a hardworking black man. The community is behind him. Church behind him. Like all of this stuff.
I've not seen this movie.
So it kind of was like, it's like the male version of this. So
it does. It sounds very similar.
It's kind of similar. I guess they're both Tyler Perry movies. So yeah.
Word, I didn't know that either. I've been under a rock.
Yep.
Okay, so next movie night, Daddy's Little Girls.
Yeah, because Straw is too, right?
Straw is.
Yeah. Okay, I'll make sure I want to trip.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, Straw is too. Yeah. So yeah, but Daddy's Little Girl definitely a Tyler Perry movie.
Yeah, because people were, giving him shit for making it so negative, like it's saying like, why we always talk about the negative, and I'm like, but what we say, if we don't talk about it, other people don't know about it. Like, what that lady say, the old lady in the bank, she said something and we were like, that's why we talk about stuff, because we don't know when we got it good.
Oh, basically she was just talking about how, like, she's like, how old are you? She was like, yeah, I don't agree with the lady's doing, but she's doing it for her kid. Like, you don't feel nothing behind
like,
that?
you don't get that?
Yeah.
That girl, Tess, child. She my second least favorite character, okay?
Yeah.
She got on my vast nerves. Anywho.
Barely awake.
There's only one more thing we need to address.
What's that?
We need to talk about the ending, girl.
Yeah, that kind of threw me for a loop. I wasn't expecting it to end the way that it did.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
So
wait, so I was kind of confused at first. I'm like, wow, so the little girl really was already dead when she was going through this whole routine of like taking her to school, being contacted by Child Protective Services. Or I'm like, did that actually happen? But that happened like prior, and I don't know, like, was little girl ever taken? Because then the mom was like, we took her to the hospital, so I was confused.
I feel like this is my interpretation of it, and this is also because I feel like it was very relatable in this way. I feel like that's what anxiety looks like. That's what the visual representation of all of those anxious fears that come out of the
because
hormones.
You think everybody's out to get you.
Yes. Oh my God, yes. Like, because they kind of fucking are. The system is very rigged. Systems are not built to help. The same way I talk about going to the grocery store. Why you can't separate the bananas? Why? What's hard about your job that you can't separate the damn bananas? Like, it be little stuff like that. But what that means to you and what that means to me are different. What that means to the grocery store worker is, it takes me an extra 2 minutes. What that means to me is, I don't get up to the line that I've been standing in because y'all are short-staffed, right?
Okay. Let's
talk about it. Like, I stand in line for 20 minutes. I get there. I'm not expecting to pay money. And then you tell me I owe $25 because I picked up organic bananas. We're not even going to talk about why WIC don't cover organic.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that's another discussion.
You see what I'm talking about, though. So I'm just saying, if I can build a case on just the grocery store, that woman, but I felt like it was just like every single worst case possible scenario. But that's what anxiety feels like. You literally walk out the door worried about, is the landlord going to kick me out today? Is my manager going to say some off the wall shit today? Or fire me? Yeah. And all of this falls on me, like you said.
Yep.
So
nobody else has to go through this movie.
My interpretation is that is what the anxiety of her moving on with her day felt like. If she had to keep pushing how she was, that's what that was looking like to her. And then the fact that she died was just like her trigger of like, no, I what? I don't know another reality. No, I don't know another reality.
But you know what the funny part was, though? I don't know if you tripped off this. When they were trying to figure out what cop did what, they said there were no tickets written under her name. So, did the traffic jam? happen, or was that like an anxious moment as well?
No, the cop admitted to doing that. I to
But
me,
also, so I'm just like, was this part of the movie or not? Because like they literally said,
because it makes you wonder now. You question
I'm questioning everything now.
now.
Like, did this really happen, or was this in her head?
Right.
Because
I feel like if what I think I know the answer is I feel like the female cops knew she did wrong, so she didn't actually write the tickets, but she acted like it so that she wouldn't get shit from
Him
the man.
involved.
Right, like the man could get off of her back. But then, she didn't actually write the tickets. She didn't threaten her, so she not the one that really need to be worried about it. But he is gonna go on record saying that he threatened her. She wore a body cam, and she admitted to it, so she's officially a witness. So they can prove he did that. You know what I mean? But she didn't even write the tickets.
But I'm just like, at this point,
now you question everything.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe that there's no perfect person. There's no perfect, she didn't have any criminal intention. She wanted to cash her damn check.
And
she kept moving on with her life. Like, in reality, her losing her child, I mean, honestly, the grief of all that would be overbearing. But I'm saying that like, all of those problems technically were, like, kind of null. But she's still moving on with her day. That shows you that she's still driven by being a mom. Like, she's still choosing motherhood. And, like, there's so much real scariness to that movie. It was too real, and it was too relatable.
Yeah, because like even like her being shot.
That
didn't happen. Like,
and I was sitting there like,
yeah. Yeah, so it makes you just question, like, okay, what was real and what wasn't real.
Shout out to the people that had her back. I just think that kind of shows you too, like, make sure that you don't just go with your first thought with perception, because you could be helping to spread a certain picture of someone that may cause their demise. You don't know what your words do to people. You don't know what the things you do can do for other people. And to be kind, because, like, you don't know what someone's going through. And moms just be going through it, period. Moms just be going through it.
They have a default, we going through it.
Yeah, like, you don't know what kind of day I'm having, damn it. Like, shit.
That's true.
Yeah. So, this movie was great. Movie night was wonderful. This was cute. The kids are tired. We're tired. And we love y'all. So, tune into the next episode. We'll be back. We're going to turn this bright-ass light off.
Thank you.
Good night.